Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with co-host James Mason. Good morning, James. How are you doing today?
Todd, I'm doing well today. How are you?
I am doing well also.
Man, slow market today, once again, but you know what I'm thankful for?
I could guess, but just please tell us.
Why was there hesitation in that?
Well, I was going to say something funny, and I don't know the answer to your question. I thought maybe my funny answer or comment wouldn't be appropriate, so I hesitated. Which
Okay.
made my backup comment funny.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that S. John started commenting because S. John, we was gonna go ahead and announce your obituary today. You were not here on time, posting updates on news, and we just assumed that you had passed away over the weekend.
He's getting ready to go to Europe. He leaves for Europe tomorrow.
Yeah, that is true.
He's got a busy.
Well, that would have been awkward.
What people don't understand is that when James asks for a commitment, he means all in. Like not like the chicken who brings eggs to breakfast, more like the pig who brings the bacon.
All right, everybody. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Dow futures are currently up 265 points. S&P 500 is up 45 points. The market is coming out relatively strong today. Let me share my chart here. Pull up the SPY. The thing is, like, while the market is pushing up strong so far this morning, we're still right at this strong resistance. Now, if you remember last week, I spoke about this, and also the week before about with this potential setup right here. We're seeing this resistance, but I was saying that there is potential here that it could actually commit and break up to this and come up here and actually test this 86 or 100 EMA. And meet more resistance right there and then break down and do its thing. So right now, my trading plan is I just intend to kind of keep trading lightly. It sucks on the profit side, but it's beneficial if I take a loss, because if I trade lightly, then it's just a small loss. You guys get what I'm saying? But the reason why I'm trading lightly is I don't have a clear and clean setup for direction in the overall market. That's how I feel, at least. And the worst thing that we can do as traders is to try to predict what the market is going to do before it happens, even though that's what we do, is create algorithms that attempt to do that. So I know that kind of contradicts like what our mission is, but in terms of just like talking to you guys and pointing crap out on the chart, I can only point out what is on the chart. So here we are. This is what I'm looking for, and I'm still just kind of waiting to see what it wants to do here. For me, it's still in that weird range. Like, either it needs to break down below somewhere right down here and do its thing, or it needs to pop up and come up here and test this 100 or 86 EMA, meet more resistance, and then roll over after that. As of right now, I don't have a clue what it wants to do besides wanting to be choppy. So that is why I am, or I have been, taking smaller positions lately, and just kind of really sticking to the day trade side of things, outside of POAI, of course, which is honestly having a nice little pre-market run. Well, me and Tyler were talking about that this morning. But anyways, back to SPY. So here we are. SPY closed out on Friday at 410.54. Currently up on the SPY up to 415.11, pushing right up to this resistance, guys. So,
and the reality is, you talk about being choppy. It can be choppy like that for 60 days. Like, it doesn't have to make a break in the next 2 or 3 days. This could take weeks or months.
I mean, chances are it's not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, we don't know.
Right.
But, you know, the SPY ain't known to take that long. But it is what it is. So right now I don't have a clear setup on SPY yet. I am waiting for it because I do want to get put heavy at some point. I think it's going to break down overall. And if I'm wrong, then okay, it won't matter because I won't be in a position to take a loss. I'll just verbally be wrong, and I'm cool with that. But if I'm wrong, well, if I'm wrong and the market would fully correct and bounce and keep pushing up, then shit, I don't know anymore, guys. Money just don't make sense at that point. So that's just a quick rundown on what I see here pre-market with SPY. Like I just noted about Predictive, to move on away from SPY. Predictive is having a nice little push up here pre-market, as we can see there. So we're still watching this one. Hopefully they come out with something solid here soon. Which I mean, when I say soon, guys, I'm not talking about like in the next day or so. Not really sure why people think that, but when I say soon, next month or so, I don't know. This trade has obviously went way beyond my time frame, but it is what it is. But at least we have recouped a significant amount of this just brutal gap down. So
they're at the buyout conference next week also, and they've been sharing that they've got some things lined up with some big pharma companies. So hopefully something comes out of that conference. You'll see a lot of times stocks will have a nice run up into conferences like that, and then shortly after they'll announce something that's going on that would be a partnership or some type of relationship that would be add value to the stock price.
Or just that buyout. Not that I know anything, guys. I'm just saying, I've always felt like it was a buyout.
No, so on record, I will tell you that there's not a conversation that goes by when James and I are talking about POAI, and he says that he firmly believes there's a buyout coming.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of being a speculator, right? We're speculating, we're doing our research, and we're saying, hey, we're reading between the lines and saying if this works out and a buyout hits, we'll be doing the in the money dance. In the money.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So
I might retire. Just quit. Not show up to TT anymore. Just quit.
the screen will be blank. We'll be like, where's James and Todd?
Yeah, like we resign.
we'll have a gone fishing sign hanging there.
Mm-hmm. You know, that day when it happens, I'll submit my resignation to the CEO of the company. I'll be done.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you
All
go.
right. Let's talk about a quick ticker. DIDI, ticker DIDI. This is really like the stock that everybody seems to be watching this morning.
Traded 40 million shares already.
And I could be wrong about this company, but I'm not trading it at all. And I'll tell you why. So I've spoken about this on StockCast a couple times before. Such a freaking dangerous stock. And I feel like I dodged a bullet before the Chinese, like this is a while back. I was going to make this an alert one day. And I just got done charting it, doing my research. And something had distracted me to where I didn't push out those alert, but I thought I did. But the next morning, the Chinese announced that they were forcing them to delist due to, it was a potential security issues, national security issues with the Chinese government, all that shit. And it tanked. So I was very fortunate and very glad that just by pure luck and chance, I didn't push this one. But here they are now saying that I guess they reviewed it and things are cool. The thing is, it's not cool. It's not cool because clearly the Chinese government has they have somebody in the government who is monitoring this. And if they were that quick to say, hey, we're going to force this company to delist, don't think that they won't do that again. At the end of the day, these Chinese companies, they're here to pull money from U.S. investors. That's it. If you haven't noticed, the Chinese government does not give a shit about the U.S. citizen. They're here for your money.
I would say the same thing about American hedge fund operators too. They're trying. I mean, they're in the same boat. But I understand what you're saying there.
Yeah. So, like, with this ticker DIDI, the Chinese government could literally come in here, pump this damn thing up, it run up, U.S. investors jump into it, and they can say, you know what, screw this shit. We're going to force them to delist. We didn't got our money. And they could disappear. And it doesn't matter because not a damn thing you can do about it. Not a damn thing the United States could do about it. And that's why, I'm so gun shy about this ticker now, because I feel like I dodged a bullet by just getting lucky and getting distracted and not alerting it. But this is the talk of the town this morning. It is pushing the most volume. And the thing is, it has like 4.5 billion shares on the market. That's the big issue here. So while it's pushing a lot of volume pre-market, there's a lot of shares out there. And so it's going to keep turning and turning. And this setup right here, this is a strong setup for, honestly, getting rejected right around this 86 and 100 EMA on the daily chart. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not even giving a crap about trying to short this thing. But I just wanted to kind of notate it here on the show, since this seems to be what everybody's watching today. And if it runs, it runs, whatever. But
do you want to share why you're saying this is the one that everyone seems to be watching?
Just because of the volume.
It's the StockCast feature.
Do what?
StockCast Twitter bot tracks.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
The StockCast Twitter bot. If you haven't followed the StockCast Twitter bot yet, look it up. Search join StockCast on Twitter, and you can find it. You can follow that. So, anyways, I just can't get behind this ticker DIDI. But there's a comment here. Let's see, Michael wanted to take a look at Amazon.
Yeah, about the split action today and what would be part of that.
What split that you predicted, Todd?
Yeah.
Yep.
The second Amazon split ever.
Wow, how crazy is that to see Amazon trading at $125? It just doesn't even feel right, does it?
No.
And there's some idiot in the Webull comments saying, "Oh, Amazon got hammered. That stock used to be $3,000."
I'm going to pile in. It's got to go back. It's got to go back.
Sorry, guys. I'm just talking trash. So what tends to happen in keywords, what tends to happen, which means it doesn't guarantee that's always going to happen. It's just kind of like, if we look back at like the Apple forward split, the Tesla forward split, a lot of times these companies, actually a forward split is great. It's actually a great sign that the company has strong growth. If they're doing a forward split, it means that, well, they need to lower the share price so investors can actually get in. So they put a little bit more shares out in the market. You get a couple more. If you have shares already, you get a couple more shares, but it looks like a couple more shares, but it actually ain't. It's still the same value. But the numbers change in your account for how many shares you hold. But overall, it's still the same dollar amount. But going forward, usually with stock forward splits, that's a good sign for the company's overall strength, and they tend to recover and do well going into the future. And I mean, we can look back on Apple and Tesla. Now, just because we do look back on Apple and Tesla, that doesn't mean that Amazon is going to do exactly this. But if I'm going to be a speculator here and place a bet, well, chances are they probably will. This is more so for a company like Amazon and this happening with this forward split. In my opinion, this is like what an investor, like an actual investor, dreams about happening. A company like Amazon does a forward split. It drops that number on their stock price, not because they took a hit or anything, just because they added more shares to the market to give it more liquidity. And what a lot of investors, long-term, like multi-year investors, start to do is just accumulate these shares at whatever range. Because a lot of times these companies, like more times than not, in time they go up and test those ranges before those forward splits. The only downside I see right here is the market situation that we have. And for me, that's where I see the largest risk. Not really so much in Amazon, but the general or overall market. I mean, think about all the Fed rate crap. So that's what I'd be kind of concerned about, like in terms of like buying shares. Now, if we would have a good pullback in the market, and if Amazon just kept breaking down and eventually broke below this $100 range and came down to test this $80 range, at $80, man, at $80, that, in my opinion, that would be a beautiful range to accumulate shares for me, at least.
Yeah, and with this new price, you talked about adding liquidity. It opens up a whole new range of investors that are going to play options at this price and shares at this price versus the times 20 factor as it was before.
Yeah. Like, I mean, before, like, I mean, I have traded Amazon, but it just wasn't my thing. Like, I didn't care to trade a $3,000 stock at all. So now that this kind of changes the game, I don't have a setup yet. I would like to see what it's going to do, and then I have to take it from there. But again, this is going to be, I feel like this is going to be dependent a lot on just the general market conditions as well. I'd hate to jump in at 125 and then 3 weeks from now it's sitting at damn 90 or below. Especially after I just said I would love to collect it at 80. That would suck. So that's just a quick breakdown, Michael, on really how like forward splits work.
We're about 8 minutes up.
All right, let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. All right, so Todd, that is all I have for today. Do you have anything else?
No, I do not.
All right, everybody. So we appreciate y'all tuning in today. Hopefully we start getting some more market news. But until then, we will catch y'all in the next one.